The sky has entirely changed. We may have to evacuate the entire zoo and all the animals. That's why we're getting over here and getting into the thick of it. Now that we're here, we can really see this entire area has been completely scorched down to nothing. We actually might find animals that were scorched in here. Oh God, it's starting to get really smoky here. Look at it, that's insane! Woo-hoo! What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are quite literally saving my zoo from burning down in a crazy wildfire that's going on right behind us. We were supposed to go investigate this fire yesterday. I wasn't able to, and then this morning I wake up to news that it's basically down the street from us. It's growing and it's not under control right now. So we're gonna be sending the drone up, but we are also planning our evacuation in case we have got to leave. But first, we're gonna try to get as close to the fire as we can while it's still far away and is not here, because we want to see if they can contain it. We want to talk to the first responders. We want to try and get as much footage of this as we can. So guys, today's video is definitely a scary one, and I'm trying to stay calm, cool, and collected. This is not the time to freak out. This is the time to keep our composure and try to get to the bottom of these things. So if you guys want to know what happens with these crazy wildfires, well, we're going to head inside and we're going to grab the drone. We're going to send it up in the air, and we're going to go see just how bad these fires are. Alrighty, the fire has made its way to us. The sky has entirely changed. It's like this weird yellow haze. You see this? This is the middle of the day. It should not look like this weird yellow. We've got ash literally falling from the sky right in front of us. Our truck is getting covered in this ash. You see that right there? That's ash that just fell on us. We've also got the tiki guys here today working on our big project, but the fire is here. We may have to start evacuating soon. Smoke is everywhere. It's hard to even see or tell on camera, but it's here and it's not going away anytime soon.
Wow, it's getting thick, dude.
This is very scary because we are a couple of minutes from the house. We left, what, like 2 minutes ago? And the smoke is right here in front of us. It's thick. Now, we haven't gotten into the thick of it yet, but it's literally an entire cloud. As you guys saw on the drone, the cloud goes from all the way to the bay, all the way west as far as the eye can see. Like, there's literally no end in sight from this. We just got a warning on the phone from Miami-Dade County for a warning. We're gonna try and find it. Wait, where is it? Right here. We got a warning and we are currently in the red zone because we haven't had any rains, which means Miami is on fire, and that means the entire Everglades could burn down. We may have to evacuate the entire zoo and all the animals. That's why we're getting over here and getting into the thick of it. Oh my. This is so thick. We just left the house literally 2 minutes ago, and the blue skies are about to disappear, and we're gonna be in this yellow smoke.
Look at the line.
I know.
The blue to the left.
The blue to the left, and into the smog to the right. Now, this honestly is reminding me of what the Palisades fires look like in California, and my heart goes out to everyone in those fires, and I'm just really nervous right now. That's why I'm trying to get closer to the fire to see the severity of it, and if we're gonna have to evacuate all of the animals. We have a contingency plan in place for these very things, for hurricanes, fires, tornadoes. We have a plan, we have the crates. The fires are 90% not controlled. They only have about 10% of it controlled, but I will be back with all of you guys once we're in the thick of it, once we get a little closer, and when we have some answers. Right now, we're making our way to what looks to be the worst part of the fire right here. This is the thickest, darkest smoke at the end of the fires. This is where the fires begin, or actually where it ends, because it started down south. Now it's slowly creeping up north and making its way. As you can see, we've got all the new housing from Lennar. We hate Lennar housing. They're destroying Florida's environments. We really do not like Lennar housing. We would really hope they stop destroying Florida's environment. As you can see, this was once a beautiful farmland, and now they're destroying it for houses. Look at it, the helicopters are here, the cavalry has arrived. So it looks like Miami-Dade Fire Department is here, and they're sending helicopters into the fires. They're putting some kind of flame retardants. I'm not sure what exactly is attached to the end of them here. Now that we're here, we can really see.
They're scooping from the lake.
They're scooping water? No way!
Scooping from the lake.
That's insane. So, like Cliff was saying, what he's just seeing is they're scooping water from the lake, and they're taking it over to the fires. Here they are. So we've got Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. They're here, and what they're doing is they're dipping into the lake right now, and they're scooping up water to dump on the fire. Look at this. This is insane. There's another one that's way up high, getting an overview of this crazy fire. They're checking to make sure it's contained. We've got what we believe to be the Forest Department flying and headed in. Look at this. The cavalry has arrived yet again. Definitely the Forest Department, look at that. So what these guys are doing right now is they're dipping that giant buoy that's into the water to collect the water, and they're gonna be using that water right there to actually put out the fire. Okay, so right here we have one of the pilots for the helicopters that are overhead, and we were gonna pull up and actually interview him, but we can hear that he's actually listening to the radio and the comms right now. We can kind of hear the comms right now. This is crazy. So we're trying to listen in to see what's going on. I don't know if he's with Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. I don't know if he's with the Forest Department, but we're here and we're listening to the radio. I think that this helicopter above us right now is actually giving him updates on what's going on out there. All right, guys, we've arrived at ground zero. We've got another chopper heading in. All right, they're back. Round two, baby. Round two, get more water. Actually, around 1,000, because these guys have been here at least 20 times since we got here. Boil water, look at that. So they're dipping that buoy-type bucket into the water. I don't even know the right term for it. If any of you guys know what that is that they're dipping in the water, let me know. Because these guys are overhead, and they're doing an incredible job. Thank you so much to the fire service, to Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. Look at it, that's insane! Woo-hoo! All right, here we go. They're starting to take off. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, off for liftoff. Here we go. It looks like they're doing a complete ascent upward. Woo! So we just came down this gated area that's normally closed, and it just happened to be open, so we decided to come down, and this entire area has been completely scorched down to nothing. We can see Turkey Point's nuclear power plant right there in the distance, and this is why it's so important that we get this fire under control. With the power plant literally within our vision, the fires are right next to us. If the power plant were to go down, all of South Florida would lose power. It could be a disaster. So look at this. This is completely scorched. I mean, look at this. This is so ashy from the entire fire. Now it looks like over here, it's a little bit greener and better. However, the fire was here. Let me just walk into it for you guys to like truly see how scorched this area is. And if we were to continue walking in here, we actually might find animals that were scorched in here. Invasive Burmese pythons, endangered, protected gopher tortoises, native fish. Guys, it is endless what could be here. But right now, oh no, look at this. So there's all the ash, but this was all an entire forest that has been burnt down to completely nothing. This is not good at all. This is a clear sign of the climate change, getting bit by something, the climate change that's going on here in South Florida, as well as all over the globe. You know, we have had a really long drought here. We've been having some rains, but definitely not the rains that we're used to. But we're gonna keep continuing down this road and see what else we can find. We still have a lot of green, which is really good, but then we pull up on areas like this that are completely scorched. This is not supposed to be happening this time of year. There's supposed to be a lot more water here. This is inches and inches, or maybe even feet of ash where this entirely burned up. But Florida's environment is designed to go through these wildfires. That's why a lot of this is still green and okay, but there's endless destruction here. Everything is torched and crisped, and this is one of the worst wildfires we've ever had right here in South Florida. This could very well end up being my zoo, my house, everything I've built and worked so hard for. So we are gonna continue patrolling the area. There's complete death and destruction everywhere we look. And we were just talking to some of the guys from FPL, and they were saying the fire is completely out of control. They do not have any containment on it. That's why they're going back and forth with the helicopters to try and get as much water on the fire as possible to keep it contained. But right now, with the drought and the winds and a short staff of firefighters, we are not sure if this fire is going to be able to be contained. This is seriously something out of like an apocalypse is what it looks like right now. It looks like the fire is intensifying right before our eyes. We've got the entire forest department here. These guys are watching and doing their thing. We got Florida Forest Service here doing their thing. We got all the guys right down there on the end. Dude, this fire is,
it's insane.
crazy.
It's crazy.
It's ripping.
I hope it doesn't get anywhere near your zoo.
I hope not.
What is it, like 5 miles away, 3 miles, 2 miles?
3 miles away, pretty close. We're not sure what this guy is spraying. I don't know if it's a flame retardant, we have no idea, but this stuff definitely cannot be good. This looks like some kind of chemicals that's definitely not good for the environment or the animals. Oh God, it's starting to get really smoky here. Lots of smoke. We can smell it through the air. Smokiness. So guys, what I need you all to do right now is comment down below a prayer for us that this fire is not going to reach the zoo, that the fire department is going to be able to put out this fire, and that God is going to bless us with some rain in the next few days. That's something we very much so need here in South Florida. The springtime rains have not begun yet, and we're actually in an area where we've definitely caught some pythons before, but we're making our way over here to the road again. We're pretty sure this road's closed, so let's make a left. And we're gonna try to get as much footage of this as possible because we're worried that the forest department is gonna show up again and try and kick us out. Go this way so we don't hit the bump. This road is super uneven and gritty, but yeah, dude, there's nobody.
It's like nobody here, man. We got the road to ourselves.
Well, the forest department.
The forest department caught us again.
They're here. They're at the end of the road.
They've thwarted us again.
And now the cops have gotten us.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, you guys gonna have to do a U-turn.
Yeah, that's what we figured once you stopped.
They let you through there?
No, we live over here, so like we were able just to drive through this.
You live over here, back in the...
Yeah, back over here.
Yeah, you have to do a U-turn.
Yeah, we're gonna turn around now.
Yeah.
It's right on the road, huh?
Yeah.
It's like right here?
It's everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah, turn around so they can go.
Alright, yeah, let me get this out of here. Thank you.
And we got stopped again. So the cops are here. The fire department is spraying water right here. We've got all these fire trucks coming in. I don't know what these guys are doing. I think it's a giant water truck, and they just asked us how we got in here.
Well, you see, we're resourceful individuals.
And we live here. So the firefighters are doing the work. The ash is falling everywhere. They're spraying it, and this fire is right here on the road. So we actually just got the escort from the fire department. Thank you guys. They're completely blocked off. Look at that. Thank you. Nice.
The cops are wondering how we got here.
If you guys are heading to the Florida Keys right now, you're gonna be in hours and hours of traffic. That's insane. There's hundreds of cars. It's gonna be like 3 hours to go.
Yeah.
3-4 hours.
At least.
1 hour later.
We're back from fighting the fires, but we're not out of the woods yet. So I've got a bunch of our crates loaded up in the back of the truck because we've got to be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice. So that is going to end today's episode. I hope all of you guys did enjoy watching today's video on the wildfires that are going on right here in my backyard. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what was your favorite part of today's video. And if you guys are new here and you want to come along on the next adventure, well, all you have to do is go right now and subscribe below.